Hey everyone, Jerome back again. Day is 996, I think. Learning guitar, and 3 months in, learn how to sing. Um, I'm going to talk a little bit about my process for how I'm learning to sing with an instructor. Some people I've talked to have an interest in learning how to sing, although it's not something that you want to do right now. So for those people, I'm gonna explain the process that I'm going through with my instructor learning to sing. That's something that maybe it's something you're interested in, but if you get it, you get your own instructor. As I'd highly recommend. They might have you might work out a different process. I was just gonna show you that what I'm going through. Maybe it'd help you, and you might be able to get started before you even get an instructor to see if you can work it on your own. So if that's something so this is geared to, obviously if you know already know how to sing, you're not gonna be watching this video. But if you can play a bit of guitar, very simple, like 3-chord songs, G C D, or any type of 1-4-5 type song, which is a lot of modern songs, very simple, then this might work for you. First thing I could recommend is an app called The Vocalist. I don't know how well this is gonna come through. See. There we go. It's called the app called The Vocalist. I'd highly recommend this. This is basically I found this on my own, and I use it every day. Basically, it's basically a tuning application. I don't know how well this is going to come through. It's a tuner. Right, there we go. It's a tuner for vocals. So it shows you the notes you're singing, and it even shows you the octave you're singing it in, and then you can. So you use that for a guitar already. If you tuning your guitar, it's very similar to a guitar tuner. If you think of your voice as another instrument, you're tuning your voice. You're singing it to pitch. So I found this type of application to be very, very handy. Obviously, one of the biggest problems that I had when I first started, I was not singing in pitch at all. And it was very cringy. So just being able to know what pitch you're actually singing. So highly recommend getting an app like The Vocalist. I think it's called The Vocalist Lite. I got this iPhone. You can probably get it for other applications, but Vocalist Lite. It's a free application. There's probably a paid version of it, but I've tried a couple, and that was the best one I found, and it was free. And it comes with a couple of built-in lessons that you can learn to pitch match against. They'll play a tone, you got to repeat the tone. So I highly recommend getting an app like that. Basically the process is, well, first my instructor would play a song, and I would practice matching the pitches that he was singing. So he'd play a song, and I'd sing along with him playing and singing at the same time. And so pitch matching was one of the first exercises I had to do to be able to know if I'm hitting the right pitches or not, and be able to just go to those pitches very quickly. So the very first few exercises that I started on my own was going home and just practicing your major scales, right? So on guitar, I would start after trying to figure out what notes I could sing. Then I think the C and the A string here in 3rd fret. So that was basically where we started here. So we started here because the notes here, the A note and the G, from the A note down, on the low E, I just couldn't sing those notes well. I just run out of air because I just couldn't sing that low. So we started. So after a bit of experimentation, we found out like this C note here. I could sing those notes fairly comfortably without too much struggle. Right. So what I recommend is finding out a scale. And I like the A string because then you can move it up and down. And then so once I worked out My instructor didn't tell me to do this. I just did this on my own because he would sing a song and he would just have me pitch. I would sing along with him. So being able to practice singing in tune with him was something that I went away on my own and just worked on. And that Vocalist app helped me. So for example, here. So what I would do is I would sing. So the idea is to sing vowels. So A, E, I, O, U, right? So we say A. And then just practice that. As bad as this is, but this to learn. So just this practice alone. That is if you're just a beginner, I highly recommend that, and you can use the application, that Vocalist app. I can't show it because it's just whitewashing it on the air, but and then the idea is to keep in that app to keep the note in the middle of the bar. If you load up the app, you'll know what I mean. But you want to keep the good thing about this application, it graphs like a few seconds over time, so you can see the changes in pitch. So you'll know by looking at the graph if you're low or high. Eventually you'll be able to hear it. And then you can move up. And you can work up. And you can keep going. So I would say the first few weeks was just me practicing those types of very, very simple, even just the first 5 notes of the major scale, starting on C, D, E, F, G, G, and then up to the octave. However, and then you can experiment to find out what your range is and what suits for you. So, like I said, this range here, that one was pretty comfortable. So, and then now range comes in. The reason I mention range is because songs. I say that because you might need to change the key of the song to match your voice. You might be lower or higher than what, like this scale here. You're gonna fit somewhere in there, so you're gonna end up needing to either move the key of the song up or down to fit your voice to make it sound good. This is also another eye-opening thing where, say for example, a song like "Every Rose Has Its Thorn." So I was always playing it G and C at 9, but I wasn't tuning down a half step. So I was singing the notes that I was hearing in the original song, but not knowing that they were playing down a half step. So I was always out of tune. So that's an example. They were tuning down to match the lead singer's vocal range. So that's an example. So, for example, a song called "Landslide" by Fleetwood Mac. So we worked out that the 7th fret, if I moved it up to the 7th fret, I took my love, took it down. Right? So we worked out that was the key would fit. That now it was pretty high up and I was getting almost too high, almost mandolin. But we worked out it's basically a C, G, A minor, and G. And then it's I took my love and I took it down. So he would work out the melody, and it took me a while back and forth for him to. I'm very methodical, and all right, what notes am I actually singing? Like, I was pitch matching him, but I had no idea what the actual notes were on the guitar. So the process that we ended up working out was, I kind of want to write down the tab for all the notes. So then when I go home, now I know the melody and I know the chords. All right, and then I got it. So I took my love. All right. So I played a chord and then that simple I took my love, because this is still stuff I work on today. Because that melody gets lost when I start playing the chords. Now I'm hearing a bunch of notes, and particularly the high E. And now I'm getting out of tune, because now if I don't have a strong sense of what the melody is, now I'm all over the place. So that's the challenge for me, and that's what I'm working on right now, is to and now I gotta remember that melody. I took my love. Yeah, I got that right. I took my love and I took it down, and I took it down. I took my love and I took it down. Right? So that's the process that we worked out. I would need to know, so really to recap this, for any particular song, it doesn't really matter, I would need to know what key the original song is in, the chords that are in that original song, and I need to know the melody that the vocalist is singing. Now, typically, your instructor is going to give you that. Or he'll look it up on the internet, go to Ultimate Tab and work that out, and he'll know from listening to the song what the melody is, and then you can tab it out. And then you need to make sure you're picking the right key for your vocal range. So in this one, we ended up working out 7th fret. But you kind of need to understand a little bit of music theory to understand how to change keys and what the chords are and what notes. You also need to know music theory if you're trying to work out the melody yourself. Because especially for faster songs where the melodies aren't as simple, knowing what scale you're currently in, what key you're in, and what notes, to work out what notes are in that scale. So a little bit of music theory goes a long way when you're learning how to sing. You don't necessarily have to know it, but that's basically the process that we've gone through. So the tuner application, I did this on my own. I learned because I just kind of wanted to know. I was thinking of my voice as an instrument, and I wanted to know hitting pitches, and then I could just match what's on the guitar neck. So, to recap, just being able to pitch match that. Then the idea is sing the vowels A, E, I, O, and U. For example, right? And then work through that as low and high as you want to go, and then practice your chords. So, for example, I'll go back to Landslide. And then we worked out, so knowing the chords, knowing the melody, and then being able to keep the melody in your head while you're playing these chords and not getting lost. And that's the challenge that I have right now. That's pretty much my stumbling block right now, is keeping the melody in mind and be able to sing that melody while you're playing chords. So in order to do that well, you kind of need to practice them all separately. Well, one, you need to be able to play the chords because there's a lot of things going on that I'm still working on, but you see what I mean? So in this case, simplifying, right? So instead of strumming, just do all downs. And then just have the simple melody. I took my love. And then practice them back and forth. So that's basically the process that with my instructor, and so the idea was he sang the song, and then I would sing along with him. But we worked out, eventually we came to this thing where I would record him playing a song, and then I would work out the chords that he was playing and the melody, because I knew enough about guitar and music theory to be able to see what he's playing, and then know after doing 3 or 4 songs to be able to for simple melodies, they're easy to work out, and then I figure out, all right, now I know what the melody is. How can I play it on the guitar neck? So once I got the melody that I could play on the guitar neck and I know the chords, now the process of singing is just a matter of practicing the chords, practicing singing the melody, and then bring it all back together and singing them both together. So that's my process that I'm using to learn songs. It might not be the right one. There's probably holes in that, but it comes back to having that vocalist light application on your phone, and then basically practicing pitch matching against notes, the major scale, up and down. I would just use the A string rooted major scales, and sing from C up to the octave, and then back down. That covers a wide range of notes, and you find out your vocal range. And then take simple songs and simple melodies, like even things like nursery rhymes, Happy Birthday, or things of that nature, where you know the melody very well and you should be able to work it out, and then you pitch match against that. So that's my process. I apologize to the singers because this is obvious, but if you're like me and you just started to learn guitar and you have no idea at all how to sing, having just the ability to know, I can use that vocalist application to just sing a note and pitch match. That I can repeat the pitches, and then I could practice. And then I could practice playing the notes on the guitar and then mapping that out to what I'm hearing in my ear. And I think that's the biggest thing that I've built up so far. Now you do that enough. You do that often enough. Now you start to be able to hear. My problem was I couldn't hear what I was singing while the song was going on, because I'd be too focused purely on whatever I was doing on guitar, not listening to the notes that I was singing versus the chords that were coming by. So I was always out of tune. So that if just by fixing that a little bit, you make your singing a little bit better. So anyway, I hope that helps. This is purely just for anybody who's just very starting out and you want to know. I would highly recommend getting a vocal coach. But if you want to just experiment on your own, you can install that application, try it out for yourself, see if it's something you want to do, and then go work with a vocal coach or an instructor to that. And that's basically my process. So I'll end it there. Hopefully I didn't butcher that too bad. But this is just how I'm learning to sing. It might not be the right way to sing for everyone, and I'm not very good. But this is just, I want to document my process that I'm going through now, and it's going to change over time. But that's basically what I've been doing for 3 months, and so far I'm seeing a little bit of results. A long way to go, but that's a good way to get started anyway. And I'll end it off in saying that even if I don't become a good singer, I think it fits well into being able to play lead guitar, play blues solos, because now you can hear this type of skill. You're forced to improve your hearing, so that, and then if you come up with a melody in your mind, now you know how to map it to guitar. So now you can play a melody. So now you're working on hearing something and playing a guitar and back and forth. So I think even if you don't become a great singer, it still will help your guitar playing. So I'd highly recommend just going through this process anyway, even if you have if you don't want to sing for anybody publicly, because I think it's going to help. It's going to pay off in the long run just by knowing a little bit of how to sing a note and be able to come up with a melody and then play it on guitar. I think that is a valuable skill, whether or not you want to sing or not. So anyway, I just wanted to share that real quick. Hope that helps. Cheers. Draw 'em out.